Everybody, welcome to the Mbabane City podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. If you are watching for the very first time, this is a platform where we get to unpack all things local government and issues that touch on Dimvoli Tambisana Nebamfu Mbabane or even nationwide. If you are returning, thank you so much for coming back. If you haven't subscribed, please make sure to click the subscribe button and also click the bell to get notifications of when we upload a new video. My name is Buhlebenkosi Dlamini Mtimkulu, your host. I'm the Assistant Public Relations Officer, Mbabane. I am with my co-host, Mr. Tsabedze.
Sibonge Buhle angifusele bonke lababukele we are very lucky to have umgcini mafa impela namhla sitake sesingene sibone ukuthi ngabe timbasha kamasipala
dimension. We are joined by the Director of Finance of the Municipal Council of Mbabane. Please introduce yourself, sir.
Siyabonga kakhulu Nkosi angivusele konke ema-repairs elidolobha leMbabane na wonke ama-stakeholders.
Mr. Mamba, kungathiwa nje masipala. First thing that comes to people's minds is rates. And then now say ratepayer, the first thing that comes to mind is letimali tetfu tiyapi, disebenda kanjani. Mr. Tsabedze kula malanga lesikiwo, we are visiting communities to do what we call mini AGMs or mini annual meetings. We have the annual meeting once a year. Can you please just unpack Uti and Lama mini AGMs and where do the financials come in?
Okay, the annual meeting sibanayo once and ngla masipala khona unale responsibility to report back to stakeholders ukuthi ku past financial year performe kanjani. So like you have rightly pointed out ukuthi lamalanga lawa lesikuwo masipala is rolling out or has rolled out mini annual meetings that essentially mirrors the agenda lebakhona the big one, the annual meeting lena lebezivama ukuthi sibe nayinye. So in the past 2 financial years, each time sibu annual meeting, my residents have repeatedly requested ukuthi manila nisibitela khona kuncane ngiyabekisa sivama kubabitela lapha Mountain View. 11 venue incane lena only I think about 80 people can make it. Yeah, can fit. So bacela ukuthi nganyela nganiboke nisibite nje nisibitele ePrince of Wales. Khona bomamba laba tositshela ukuthi imali itshone phi idolobha lisebente kanjani konke. So nakubuka from liso lokuthi ngabe ku practical ngakanani lokuthi vele sonke we gather lapha ePrince of Wales and the value lokungaba nayo ku every attendant ingabe ingakanani. So sibese sithi asi roll out lama mini AGMs in every ward. Idolobha ke selati lina 12 wards. So we have started the process and really the reception has been warm. Kuma residents bakujabulela kakhulu because now they get to participate kule annual meeting yethu that previously bekuya loyo muntu lo representer that sector ku community. So lo sisachubeka Ndvulini lana njengoba tawungena nje ngama financials ukuthi kumbe siperforme kanjani baba khona nabo le kuma communities baka finance bakhulume ukuthi cha sisebente kanje bese kuba nalabanye ke labatawubuka just generally in terms of infrastructure ukuthi in the past financial year usebendile masipala umfakile Apollo ulungisile umgwaqo wakhile ama trains wakhile ama walkways utshani buheshwe kanjani bo vegetation control. So cishe onke lama departments akamasipala aba represented kulama annual meetings. So ngiko nje ngithi excited nyalo ukuthi sinayo umgcini mafa. He won't just address lama communities as we know them, but said the internet reaches far and wide. Yeah. So this is a very good opportunity for your council.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Tsabedze. Mr. Mamba, Please take us through my financials are financial year 2023-2024 emenjani edolobheni.
Siyabonga kakhulu Nkosi, maybe kungaba kuchaza nje ukuthi umnyaka wethu singumasipala wetimali uyaphela ngaMarch every year. Kusho ukuthi nakulo 2023-2024 uphelile umnyaka wethu. Futhi ungaphela ke lo mnyaka bese laba labahlola emabhuku sebathatha ke lamabhuku babuke ukuthi imali vele sisebenzise ngendlela lengiyo yini. Ilapho bekufanele taya khona into alandzela imithetho ekuphathwa kwetimali. Asisho ke repairs nawonga ema-residence edolobha ukuthi lapho khona nyalo kubukwa khona lamabhuku labahlola amabhuku lawa alomnyaka lophele nyalo ngaMarch 2024 utawuthi-ke bangacetha ke bese-ke sebakhipha-ke nangombiko wabo sithi i-independent opinion yema-auditors basho ukuthi bawathole anjani lamabhuku angiyo yini basi bangakwenza-ke lokho sabese-ke sesiyawuletha-ke lo mbiko wonke bahlali belidolobha nabo bonke nje abasebenzisana belidolobha babona ukuthi imali kuphela kwaMarch 2024 time kanjani isebenze kanjani. Kepha-ke lesingakusho Nkosi ukuthi kule AGM lesisuka kuyo manje the annual meeting lesisuka kuyo sawathula noma zawuthula umbiko wetimali owawukade kuphela ngaMarch 2023 ngiwo-ke lona lesithi ngoba sisahamba sinama-mini AGM asibakhumbude ama-residents ukuthi kodwa kwenzekani imali tasebenza kanjani konke kwema kanjani itabe sakuyeda-ke nalona ngamasinyane nawo sesibize futhi siyawethula uma kuta le AGM lena letawulandzela nje masinyane. Sicela kusho ukuthi ama-auditors awukhipha umbiko wawo lesithi i-opinion yawo ama-auditors sathola nabo lesingathi i-clean audit nje masingabeka ngeligama elivakalayo. Baye bathi-ke ngale lwimi lakhona i-unqualified audit opinion bese uyakubuta ukuthi uclean kanjani u-unqualified ngoba singisi siyayisumisha ngesiswati kodwa nje lwimi lwakho unqualified audit opinion lokusho ukuthi amabhuku ethu abonakala usicha eme kahle futhi imali iphatheke kahle futhi-ke sathola leyo opinion ema-auditors lenhle. Singabika nje ukuthi umbiko wethu wachaza lokho ukuthi kungena kwetimali esingathi income and expenditure wabonakala ukuthi imali etingaba nganga 134 million lesatithola kuma rates takhula ke nga 3% lebe sikuthola eminyakeni leyalophele wa 2022 ngoba khona besithola 130 million sajabula kakhulu ngakukhula kwawo kodwa ke lokukhula kwabanga ukuthi kuye kusinjalo ngeminyaka kube khona ama adjustment esiwendako kule tariff lesiyisebenzisa komasi ngasibhila wona lama rates sasikhulise nga 3% nje kulo mnyaka. So kungako ngathi nalokukhula kwaba ngilo 3%. Siyathi ukuthi inflation yaba ngetulu kwalo 3% kodwa ke ngekubukekela noma ngekubuketa ukuthi nawo bahlali phela banayo inkinga netakamuntu itinayo inkinga setimalini sabona ukuthi 3% utawulunga. Kwaba khona ke lenye imali lesiyithola kokona lo mnyaka lenganga 11 million leyayibuya ke etimalini letingatholakala kuma rates lesingathi other income. Ngilethi imali letfaka ekhathi nje kusebenzisa sithi nje kusebenzisa imithoyi na usedolobheni lokho nje lesi singema user fees ngelwimi lwakhona esathola imali enganga 11 million yakhula kancane kule besiyithola eminyakeni lophele ngoba besithole 10 million lomnyaka lophelile yakhula nje ke ngabo 2% kodwa kwasijabulisa ukukhula kwayo. Lesingakusho ke Nkosi lapha ukuthi le mali lena sikake sayikhulisa kusukela nga2018 bese kusinika ke bulukhuni ikakhulu kuletha ngathi ema-services edolobheni ngendlela lengaba yinhle bawajabulile nabo bonke labahlala edolobheni. Siyacela nje ukuthi nase sesiyikhulisa ba-understand lokho ukuthi ikhuliswelane ngoba nathi asifuni kwenta i-profit kodwa sifuna kuletha i-service etawujabulisa wonke umuntu otawufika edolobheni. Kunemali ke lesayithola futhi eqhamuka kuhulumende sisingama-grants and subventions sathola 6 million kulo mnyaka wa 2023 sayibonakala ke yehla kakhulu le mali le ngoba eminyakeni lephelile besithola imali engathuli kwabo 7 million kuyale kubo 10 million kodwa nyalo ku 2023 ithe bo 6 million lokusimo ke lesikhona eveni lokwenda ke kusti into bese ngasiyadula nema rates asayadula ngoba isubvention ayisesile etholakala kahle kepha ke siyazama ukubalansisa ukuthi noma singasayithola isubvention ema rates angabaduleli kakhulu abahlala edolobheni ukuze ukuthi impilo yitho khona kuba ngcono kafishane nje inkosi sathola imali enga 151 million eminyakeni wa 2023 lapho khona sase siyayisebenzisa sasebenza yena lo 151 million ngoba mase ithola le mali asiyitholeli ukuthi isendi inzuzo lethile siyitholela ukuthi siphinze siyibuyisele khona edolobheni siyihlanyele edolobheni cishe nje kwabangiloko ukuthi profit lengako lesayithola sathola nje surplus lengasi nje abanganga 3 million kulomnyaka lokwaba imali lengaphansi kakhulu esasiyithole eminyakeni endlulile ngoba kulo yaminyaka sasendile surplus yabo 8 million kodwa ngekwehla kwemali imali sisithola lokufaka ekhasi donate ama subvention ngiko lo bese kwenta ngazuthi ne surplus yethu bese seyiba incane engod lapha kulolu hlangothi nje lokungena kwethi imali kumbeke sengingaya kulolu hlangothi lwetinto lesatithenga lesingathi ngema assets alolu dolobha ukuthi wona ngabe eme kanjani kulomnyaka wa 2023 siboneke kukhula kwema assets ethu nakulesithi ngiproperty plant and equipment lokusho imigwaco imoto lesisebenzisako edolobheni ama grader emalole kubutha tibi nako konke nje ke lesinako edolobheni sikubone kukhula nga 30 million kona lokho kubangelwa ke ukuthi atawukhumbula takhamuntu ukuthi bekunemigwaco lemikhulu lebesiyakha ku 2023 lena ke imigwaco ithi singayakha ke le cost yawo ingeta kulokukhula kwale property plant and equipment ngiko ngazi ukuthi sikhuluma ngabo 30 million futhi imali engaka 30 million iye ekwenteni infrastructure nje kakhulu edolobheni kwakhe imigwaco kuthenga lokana lokusitha ukuthi kube neservice edolobheni umbeke lesinga kujabuleli inkosi kona kukhulile indzaba lengidawuthi ngema receivables ethu noma ke ngema rates lesikweletwa wona edolobheni uthe uphela umnyaka besikweletwa ema rates la lebo 91 million lokusimo lesingasisihle iyakhula ke le mali from 67 million nga 2022 yaya ku 91 million ku 2023 asikujabuleli ke lokukhula kwalama rates ngoba kusho ukuthi kubhadalwa kwabo sekufishane ba takhamuntu atsawabhadala ema rates so khanza ukuthi sinema rates lamanengi nase uphela umnyaka la ngakabhadala simo ke lesibhlungu ke lesi lapho sishaye khona lesimo sekungabhadalwa kwema rates imali lebesinayo emabhanga lesiyisebenzisa kurana lona lidolobha eminyakeni wa 2022 besinemali engaka 99 million lebeyikhona ebhange ihlalele ukuthi ikhona ukuservice lidolobha ikhona kwenta tonke into edolobha iservice ingacollapse edolobheni kepha uthe uphela 2023 imali beyehle kakhulu seyile kubo 80 million lokusho ukuthi yehle nga over 20 million almost 20 million angisho kanjalo ngoba ema rates ethu akabhadaleki kahle lokusimo lesingakasijabulisi ke kulo 2023 siyethemba lokuthi esibabhadala abantu ema rates imali lesinayo edolobheni itawuba ngcono sikhona ukuthi mangabe umuntu akhala nje athi ngalapha kukhanyi sigijime sivele sikufixe lokho masinyane robot seluwile sivele sikuthenga lokho sikufaka hayi ukuthi kutawuphela emaviki lamathathu noma inyanga sitaladi sonke singakhanye kwanze kugebengu edolobheni sengiya ngasebugcineni ke ngosi kulendzaba yetimali kungaba kusho lokuthi usithi mawuphela lomnyaka sakhanza nasi siyadicwaninga sendana kulethiwa ngema ratio analysis sakhanza ukuthi lidolobha lime kahle lona ukuthi lingakhona kusebenta ngoba uma ubuka nakulesithi liquidity ratio lokusho ukuthi liyakhona yini kubhadala lidolobha tikwelete talomati masethi juma sekufanele tibhadala sakhanza sicha lidolobha lime kahle ngoba siye sithi yibana 2 emalangeni kubhadala 1 lilangeni yesikwenete lonaso lokusho ukuthi sithi 2:1 fanele ume kanjalo kule ratio yethu kodwa sikhanze sine ukuthi sina 8:1 lokusho ukuthi sonke isikwenete sa 1 rand lesinaso edolobheni sina 8 emalangeni noma ngisike sonke isikwelete sa 1 lilangeni lesinaso edolobheni sina 8 emalangeni ebhange ukuthi singakhona ukubhadala leso sikwelete leso lokusho ukuthi na usebenza nelidolobha awubese sokunwa inhloko nje singabhadala ukhona yini kungibhadala tawuphela 6 months ingakabhadali siyakhona kubabhadala abantu lesisebenza nabo impilo ichubeke nemnotho welidolobha uchubeke usebenze kahle lokusijabulisa konke lokho lokunye lesikubonile sisathi cwaninga kulama ratio sikhanze ukuthi na i ratio lekuthiwa i debt ratio lokusho tikwelente tethu tingakanani sakhanza usithi only 5% nje of our assets lokuhle ke lokho lokusho ukuthi sengakhona kungetha letinye tikwenete sikhona ukuthi sendele lamanye ama projects ladzinga imali akufanana esikhathi I ratio yakho seyiletula usakhona ukuboleka emabhange sebakubuka kabi vele usayilona ngeke sakhona kusibhadala lokusho ukuthi idolobha libukeka li healthy ngasethi imalini nje ke kafishane lokunye ngingagcina ngakho ngci inkosi imali lesiyisebenzise towards capital expenditure noma capital infrastructure belibhange lemhlaba iWorld Bank bathi lokungenani ngeminyaka 15% aye towards capital projects emalini yonke leniyikolekile 15% in make sure ukuthi uye kuma capital projects sine sibone imali enganga 20.6% lokusho singedulu kwalena levunywa nje libhange lokusho ukuthi masipala usebenta vele ukuthuthukisa letimpilo talama rate payers na wonke ama stakeholders edolobheni make sure ukuthi infrastructure ikhona ngiyabonga
siyabonga kakhulu Mr. Tsabedze siqhubeka nama-annual meetings ngabe unga-encourage uthini bamfu bembabane ukuthi bawa attend
Yes, definitely. Ayachubeka ema-annual meetings la lidolobha litabe lithula iboard ukuthi siperforme njani njengoba somvile nje umphethe nangumthulini lana asho ukuthi lidolobha lime kahle kakhulu ukuthi tesina 8 emalangeni badala
ungasayi lapho
shothi vele sihlobe kakhulu kungaba nje kucela sona sive ukuthi cha abede satisa sive ukuthi ingabe ngimaphi ema dates nema venues la sita besikhona khona kulawa lesiye kuwo angakutshela nanthulini ukuthi impela the interest esiveni lemibuzo labayibutako imibuzo lobona ukuthi cha iyabasita nabo to understand better how we operate as council so lama annual meetings is a very good initiative by yena masipala and I trust ukuthi vele seseyinto lesitawuqhubeka nayo over the years.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mamba, for joining us. If you want to hear more about the financials and how we work, why are things done a certain way, please do attend the annual meeting ward yako. Please follow our Facebook page, Municipal Council of Mbabane, to get an update on where the next meeting is and where the details for that. And also please make sure if your ward has a WhatsApp group, please make sure to send a shout out and find out how you can join that group so that you are alerted and up to date about everything that happens in your ward. Thank you so much for joining us. If you have any comments, please, we'd like to hear from you. Make sure to subscribe and like and share. See you next time. Hello everybody, welcome to the Mbabane City Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us once again. If you are joining us for the first time, please make sure to subscribe, to like and share. Thank you if you're coming back. Once again, thank you for watching. My name is Buhlebenkosi Dlamini, the Assistant Information and Public Relations Officer. I am with my co-host, Mr. Tsabedze.
Yes, Buhle, sibongela ithuba sivusele bonke lababukele and solo siyaqhubeka siteka Donataka Masipala.
We are joined by a special guest today. We call him Seho here, so he's the Chief Environmental Health Officer. Yes, Mr. Nkodes Mapanga, please fusela lababukela.
Hi everyone, as she stated, I'm Nkodes Mapanga. I am the Chief Environmental Health Officer at the Municipal Council of Mbabane.
Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Mapanga. Lidolobha latiwa njengekuthi, first and foremost, what's masipala, but the second most important thing that we talk about is waste. Waste is broad. Masikhulumisa tindzaba te waste edolobheni. One of the very key projects that we're doing, that we've done for a couple of years now, is the waste segregation and minimization project from source. Right? Could you just highlight what that is about briefly?
Buhle, I think the municipal council comes a long way when it comes to waste management in the city. We are from actually managing waste in the right manner, moving towards zero waste, and we've moved now towards a circular economy. So we are trying to move into actually reducing the amount of waste ending up at the landfill. So we are closing the loop. You know, we are going circular instead of linear.
Okay.
So what the municipality is basically doing is we are trying to create a demand for waste. You know, we're trying to create wealth from waste. So that is what we as the city, we are doing. And I think currently our programs are on track. Yeah. So we've seen, with our programs and introducing the programs we have, we've seen a huge improvement in terms of, we've seen a reduction in the amount of waste ending up at the landfill. I think in the past financial year, we've seen a 14% decline in the amount of waste going to the landfill. And what we've also seen is that we've seen an increase in the amount of waste being salvaged for recycling, and other purposes or reuse. So we've seen about close to 40,000 kgs of waste annually being recycled in the city. So we are hoping that figure will increase and exponentially as the years go by, and we end up not having any waste.
The Ministry of Tourism recently introduced or declared the official ban of single-use plastics in the country. What does it mean for us? We've already been doing waste segregation minimization. We've been preaching this for some time. We've been talking about this. This is a behavioral issue as well. But what does the ban mean for us in the city?
Buhle, the Honourable Minister actually took a necessary and a bold step.
Yeah.
We really needed this. If you think about it, when it comes to your single-use plastic bags, research has shown that probably in a hectare of land, you probably will find about 50 kgs in weight of plastic. So now you can imagine how weightless plastic is. And then in a hectare, you can find about 50 kgs. That's a lot of plastic. But basically what it also means, it will mean that we'll have less waste in the city. It will mean innovation, because we need to now start to think about how we do repackaging, how we're going to pack our goods, because we are moving from the single-use plastic bags to plastic containers, single-use. So we need to start to be innovative. Actually, we need to, even before she announces the ban, we need to start being innovative as a city. Also, I think as a city, it means a cleaner city. You know, one of the major issues we come across as a city are plastic bags in terms of litter. You know, you see them flying, hanging on trees. It's something which doesn't have value to a lot of people. You know, it's easy to dispose. So banning the use of single plastic bags as of the 1st of December, that will be really great for the city. I think the youth should really be the one leading this initiative in terms of being creative. You know, this is now our time to be creative and see how can we then assist the members of the public and you know, make money out of this.
Make money out of it.
And the country will be very clean whilst we making money.
Mr. Tsabedze, indeed, we're really, really excited. Turning waste into money. And how can people be encouraged to jump onto this wagon?
Yeah, I think mine would be to play tennis with Mr. Mapanga here, push it back to him. And firstly, on the point of what's the status with the landfill, how much time do we have with the landfill, and probably how much money will it cost us to, say, get another landfill going? And also, thirdly, will be the uptake from communities with regards to waste segregation. And I know he's well positioned to give us a feel of how those elements stand as we speak.
Mr. Mpanga.
Yeah, okay, thanks. Putting me on the spot. But honestly, I think you're bringing about an interesting and a conversation we are supposed to have. The local authority, the Municipal Council of Mbabane, we have 42 hectares of land reserved for throwing away waste. Can you imagine what we can do with that amount of land? Can you imagine? You know, we can open businesses, we can actually do farming, we can be into forestry, but that land is reserved for the disposal of waste. You know, basically currently we have a landfill cell which was built, I think the year was 2012, yeah? And it's supposed to last about 20 years. But due to the waste minimization we have in the city, we've been seeing the airspace or the lifespan in a way increasing, you know? We have new residents, we have new properties, and more waste is being generated. But through our initiatives of waste minimization, we then have minimized the amount of waste ending up in the landfill, hence increasing the lifespan or the airspace of the landfill. But to build another cell, it would cost the city or the ratepayers about 60 million Malawian. And the more we delay, the more that will increase. So we are to, as a city, actually follow suit to the minister's statement and actually ban ourselves, you know, in other things. You know, before you buy something, know how you're going to reuse it, know how you're going to recycle it, you know, instead of disposal. So we need to be responsible buyers. You know, it's really costing the city because monies which can be put into other projects which can actually improve the livelihood in the city.
How's the uptake when it comes to the projects we've been doing of changing recyclable items to being money?
The uptake is amazing. We've involved several companies, and what we've seen is we've created a demand for waste. You know, we are now seeing companies which are into collecting waste or recyclables, fighting for areas to say, listen, can I go collect waste there? Can I go collect waste there? And we are seeing individuals also coming through to say, how about you helping me, and can I collect recyclable waste from your entity? You know, and the city was actually way ahead because we do have a waste management bylaw, which actually talks to waste segregation from source. So it does actually also fall into suit to the minister's ban for single-use plastic bags. So I think the uptake we have 5 townships around the city which are currently doing the waste segregation from source, and then the uptake is really good. We're getting a very good reception. Actually, we recently just did a monitoring and evaluation of the piloting in the 5 townships. And what we found was really helpful from the residents. And what we found is that, now we understand why the municipal council is actually collecting waste once a week. Because once you remove the recyclables, you have less waste to dispose.
Finally, from my side will be for Mr. Mapanga to touch on the number of times that we collect waste. Previously we were doing it twice, and now we've gone once. Why the change? Because it's been coming up during the annual meetings that we are having currently. If you can explain.
Thank you. I think it's an international best practice. We do in everywhere in the world, your Santins, I'll give you the closest, Santin, they collect waste once a week. And we are following suit. And the reason why it's because they are into investments of waste segregation from source. And they understand that should you segregate your waste from source, from your home, you know, you will not have much waste to dispose anyways. So why collect twice? So with the programs the city has, which includes the composting, your waste segregation from source, your buyback centers, your upcycling, you know, we saw it fit to say, listen, let's change. And mind you, look how clean our city is now. You know, I think our city is more cleaner because now we have more responsible residents. They know that the city will collect their waste once, so but and they're doing very well. And I'm really proud of the city, of the residents of the city. You know, we have seen a decrease in the waste because there is an uptake in these initiatives we are doing. We want to go further. You know, we want to create the demand in such that we want to be, instead of selling the recyclables, we want to create products. You know, we want to create your envelopes. We want to create your recyclable papers. We want to create your ottomans, which are upcycled tires. That's what we want to do as a city. We want to be creative. We want innovation, and I know the innovation now will come through waste. You know, actually in economics, when they talk about waste, it's inefficiency. You know, so we should do away with the word waste because we are being inefficient. We are throwing away a resource which we could be using otherwise.
This is exciting. Mr. Tsabedze, any closing words? Cinema annual meetings, and also just to encourage young people to jump onto this wagon, waste segregation.
I think obviously the ongoing ward meetings are very good for our residents. You know, they get to catch up on how council is performing, and definitely the waste segregation and recycling bandwagon. Definitely, they shouldn't miss out, like Mr. Mapanga has pointed out.
Any closing words, Mr. Mapanga?
Hey, let's join.
Let's join.
It's not too late.
Right.
It's not too late, you know? So let's be innovative. Let's create jobs out of waste. And let's be efficient and not inefficient. So let there be no waste
in the city. You've heard it. We're looking at zero waste in the city of Mbabane, and we're excited to see you jump on and make money out of waste. We've got buyback centers. We've got people who are collecting recyclables. Please make sure you start practicing segregating your waste from your household. We hope to hear from you. What are your thoughts about waste minimization and segregation in the city? Where do you think it will take us as a country as a whole? We're excited to see you again next time as we unpack something else in local government. Hope to see you again soon. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Mbabane City Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us once again. If you have not subscribed, please make sure to click the subscription button and also the notification bell so that you get to know whenever we post a new video. My name is Buhlebenkosi, Assistant Information and Public Relations Officer on Mbabane. The podcast is a platform where we get to unpack all things local government. Who's who, who's doing what does it mean when this thing happens? And we get to just unpack everything that you're normally interested in. So if you have any points of interest, topics of interest, you can send it down below and we will get to see how we unpack it. I'm with Mr. Tsabedze today and Mr. Twala, Mr. Tsabedze, please
Yes, I'm very excited about the episode Kenyana. The reason being, we get an opportunity to address some of the issues not basic. Now, property development, and we've been getting this question repeatedly. So I do hope and trust Mr. Chaka will say that will impact that knowledge. Also see.
Mr. Chaka, please introduce yourself and your team and then make them understand.
Thank you, Buhle, and thank you, Mr. Tsabedze. Libito lami ngwandile ngowathwala, and I'm the Chief Planning Officer khona la ekhaya, and I'm responsible for the urban planning yaleli dolobha and also community development. So if you are considering buying a property, I would say first thing that you need to do is to consult Masipala. We are planning. What we will do, we will first tell you the property you're interested in, it's in zoning yai. So like development, we have what we call a town planning scheme. Town planning scheme is a document that is a regulatory document which regulates the use of properties. So you cannot just have a property and do whatever you want on a piece of property. There are regulations that grant you certain permissions for certain land uses. So there are restrictions laba khona. So it's important ukuthi uqale uyathi zoning property yakho. So we normally issue out a zoning certificate. A zoning certificate will then tell you the permitted land uses for that particular zone. So if you want to buy a residential property, the zoning certificate will tell you it's okay. Athi nema building lines akho. So kuba mcokolo ukuthi uyele kule property lofuna uyithenga, we understand ukuthi the nature of it ime kanjani. And then Pinze, now we are SIT, you will then be able to establish the infrastructure that is there. Infrastructure actually ukhona any access road. Yangeneka plot because some people buy but ukhanza ukuthi akungeneki. So good umgwaqo, good imandi, good sewer line, you need to understand that because if good sewer line it means you would have to put in a septic tank. So when there's rules around what you can do around infrastructure, is there electricity? Understand that Gongo has a bearing on the costs of development. Then also, whilst you are on the site investigation, you also need to establish good encroachments. Encroachments ufuna kuthenga a piece of property and ukhanza ukuthi kunemakhelwane wakho une structure on the property.
Okay.
So that you would want to avoid a situation where you are buying kanzimulu so akhela ngakakho noma ungenile piece of structure sakhe singalanga bese kuletha ama disputes.
Okay.
So you want to avoid ama situations lanjalo or rather resolve those issues before you buy.
Okay.
Yes, so my encroachments aba problem kakhulu ngoba labanye abantu bayakha bangathi ukuthi property yabigcina. And also you need to understand this the property yakho inganayo. Which means you need to, if possible, ucele lokuthengisa wakukhombise lethongwane, which is the plot records. It's all la igcina la. We understand. We get to appreciate it. It's not a people lakho tawufita, you know, abanye abantu if you say you're buying a 1,000 piece of property, 1,000 square meter piece of property, lo munye umuntu ucabanga ukuthi inhubu, omunye ucabanga ukuthi incane. So you need to appreciate ukuthi ubone lethongwane takho dayo le property. So you request the lokuthengisela ukuthi akukhombise. So that's also important. And also you need to investigate the title deed of the current owner. So what that means, my title deed abanema will sitting in restrictive title conditions. Okuthiwa ukuthi kunedingo letibhalwako la kuma title deed that restrict ukuthi ungendani kule property. Much as we have town planning scheme but khona ama restrictions la kuma title deeds. Lokhanza ukuthi akakuvumeli ukuthi wente certain things. For example, if there is a servitude or right of way servitude on the property, so it means where you are not allowed to develop the servitude because it becomes mass services or it's a right of way servitude. So you need to understand that. And then also you need to also check a survey diagram. If you're buying a property, maybe subdivided farm portion, you need to get the survey diagram, the survey general. You tell you to survey diagram. So a survey diagram will then tell you the size of the exact size of the property. It will also tell you which akhona lama servitudes, and if akhona, a survey diagram will also show you which ahamba kuphi lawo ma servitudes, and you need to respect those servitudes. And if it's a right of way, nakhona you respect the servitude. So those are some of the things that we need to investigate as we are buying a plotted development. I can go on and on. If solo sihamba kanye.
Yeah, please go on.
Go on, because naso wakile. Okay, Nyalo, we're talking about preparations before wakhiwe, and then now sekungene ma plans. Please take us through that process as well.
But before that, ngifuna kuva naye ma encroachments mina ukuthi in the event where itfola le property ukwenza ukuthi so encroachile makhelwane. What are the options in terms of remedies? Do I go to the court or niyangsita, or normally what are the remedies for that?
Okay, so in that particular case, normally what people do, bacala like it, so how we do it, we facilitate the engagement between the two property owners. We'd say, I see aware it's so encroaching. So we have a facilitation type of process where we engage and discuss the issue, see if is the person amenable to a solution.
Okay.
So the solution would normally be either we are a subdivider, I think it's a portion, le encroachment, meaning I think from the owner of the property like encroach where we. So yeah, we normally work around issues of subdivision.
Okay.
If a solution it doesn't work, then again, the worst solution, which is normally not encouraging, but yeah, through the facilitation.
Okay. Or you can proceed with the itfolile tonke tifetimenya momo. You know where tikongwane kuti tikuphi, you know the parameters, you know ukuthi you can only build certain stories, all that. Sesiyakha. What are the details there?
Okay, so naso what normally happens, you have to engage in professionals. We encourage people, you must use professionals.
Okay.
Yeah, in the true sense of professionals. So one, you need to get an architect.
Okay.
Agutwebele lelphupho lakho lelisithi ngama building plans. In line with ama rules amaspala. And then if it's a double story, you also need to engage structural engineer to supervise the works and also to do the calculations of the structural works. So, and also if it's a bigger structure, obviously you need more and more professionals like your electricians. So we could depend on the structure, which is but you need more professionals, built environment space.
Okay.
So designs. So once that is there, we submit our drawings, building plans, building application. The CIC process it normally takes a minimum of 6 weeks. It will form A. Once you've completed that, we submit the title deed, a scrutiny fee.
Okay.
Scrutiny fee is based on the value of the structure of Naksaka. So you pay a certain percentage of the value of Nakwaka. And then once that is done, see our process at my building plans. What process are going to go to mix and my partners are Maspala, which is Swatini Water Services Corporation. But scrutinize now to determine what's good in my issues or is there capacity in terms of your water and sewer.
Okay.
So they comment pinza fire because we also look at issues of safety. So fire again bend my comments, it's okay, fire hydrants or whatever.
Okay.
So I fire pins again. So we basically our review and that's internally. Internally there's technicians, labakona, engineers, planners, the environment. So we look at all of that. If it comply with everything, in most cases, kuba net deferral. Lokusho ukuthi khona lokufuna kulungiswe kulama plans. We are bese siyakutshela ukuthi lungisa lapha bese ke abuya ke lawo lesa updated. Bese ke seyaphuma ke le approval. I-approval nayiphuma ke iba nama conditions.
Okay.
You have to pay for my supervision costs, my inspection costs, Amaspala, because we have to then inspect each and every stage of the development as kwakhiwo we have to inspect. So there's cost associated with that. And also before work, a very important thing is to ukuthi uyovusa letikhongwane takho. Siya sifuna ukuthi kwenziwe nguland surveyor ke lo ukuthi atokuvusela tikhongwane utoba 100% sure ukuthi le building lofuna kuyakha it falls within the property. Ungathi nawe so kune encroachment lo so yendile ngekubuka ngeliso the naked eye. So you need to establish ama plot beacons and siya isifuneke ukuthi kwenziwe nguland surveyor tosiniketa beacon establishment certificate. And then we supervise all the stages. But also prior to that, one of the conditions conditions of approval is that you need to also engage Eswatini Environment Authority for environmental assessment.
Okay.
Yes, that is very important. You need to comply with the legislation environment.
Okay.
So that's a separate process. And before you start construction.
Okay.
Yes.
So then, say Koni property, my building plans are approved. Saying a cut, saying it's I need to add an extra room. What do I do there?
Okay. Before that, before getting a card, once the structure has been completed in terms of construction, CIBSS and the final inspection.
Okay.
So the final inspection will then issue out a permission to occupy. So would say if khona timbo longatendi kahle lebetila kule ma drawings akho so deviate or whatever, but in most cases now we also deviate from the approved building plans. Anege see issue out issue a permission to occupy or the certificate of occupation asenge siknikete lokho. So you need to comply first with all the conditions of approval, which includes lama designs lakhona before. Yes.
So, Mr. does it mean here's my initial plan, the garage. So during the construction process, I then happen to be in luck saying it for garage. So angavumele, I have to stick to local parcel.
Okay, in that scenario, you can come through, which is similar to what Buhle is also asking. It's a soft you can come, ufuna one day amendment, yalama drawings. You then need to submit revised drawings. Lasata komba the extent of the addition. If it's already existing, that's komba lo we'll then scrutinize goods logo. Is it still within the permissible parameters? For example, coverage. If plot yakonji coverage 50%, and when our building at 50% of the plot, but so you will then say no, you cannot because you've exceeded your coverage. So, but if it's still within, then yes, we may grant you that approval to extend your portion. Yes.
Okay, so that also goes to Naso letting a cut and then want to extend.
Yes, Naso letting a cut, so now the permission to occupy. You have to submit. It's consider that a new application.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Consider that a new application. You have to submit the as-built drawings. That's the new extension loss of Nagenda. Yes. So the drawings are but differentiated in terms of the color coding.
Okay.
So it's okay. This is the existing structure, and then the different color code will then indicate the additional structure,
okay.
Yes, so that we are able to then do the calculations and scrutiny. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us. This is what you need to know about getting a property in the city of Mbabane. I'm sure this has sparked interest and you've got too many questions to ask about encroachment and we will come back and unpack that one. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm with Mr. Tsabedze and Mr. Twala. Hope to see you again next time.